Imagine if the most powerful engine for revolution in Africa is not a weapon or a politician, but a tractor. Can tractors really be the catalyst that shifts the destiny of a landlocked, cash-strapped nation? Burkina Faso has just inked a $1.2 billion tractor agreement with India. Leaders in Ouagadougou claim these machines will do more than plow fields. They promise to modernize farming, safeguard food supplies, and create thousands of jobs. The stakes are enormous. If Burkina Faso succeeds, it could feed its people, empower its youth, and redefine African independence. But if the gamble fails, the country risks sinking deeper into debt and repeating old patterns of dependency. But beneath the surface, something far larger is at stake. This is not just a commercial transaction. It is a daring leap for sovereignty. In a nation shaped by poverty and outside dependence, could a fleet of tractors truly change the course of history? In Burkina Faso, nearly 70% of people depend on farming, yet most are bound to old ways. To understand why this deal matters so much, we need to look at how Burkina Faso got here and why tractors have become symbols of hope and controversy. Picture trying to feed a country with nothing but hand tools and a pair of oxen. For generations, this has been the norm in Burkina Faso, where harvests are painfully low and fields rarely yield enough to lift families out of poverty. Economic growth remains a distant dream, stifled by outdated methods and relentless droughts. If the plan falters, Burkina Faso could remain mired in hardship, with youth facing another generation of hunger and limited choices. But if it succeeds, a stronger, more independent nation may rise, powered by modern farming and hope. But now, a seismic shift is underway. In a landmark deal with India, Burkina Faso is poised to receive 100,000 tractors, an unprecedented injection of machinery in African history. This pact brings more than machines. New irrigation, steady supplies of parts, and intensive farmer training are all included. The future of agriculture is suddenly within reach. Yet such transformation demands massive investment. Burkina Faso is not paying with cash in hand. Instead, the deal is woven from loans, grants, and intricate public-private partnerships. India is not just exporting equipment. It is financing a bold vision, wagering that innovative deals can spark lasting change. But a deal of this scale does not unfold without controversy. Behind the headlines, powerful interests and hidden risks are already in play. India and Burkina Faso are trading far more than machines. Beneath the surface, influence, leverage, and the fate of West Africa hang in the balance. India's move is no accident. As France's decades-long hold on the region weakens, India senses a rare chance. By stepping in now, it aims to earn political loyalty, secure a fast-growing market, and cement long-term economic ties while rival powers scramble to adapt. The Sahel, once under French control, is transforming into a battleground for new global investment. Here, East and West clash in a contest where every deal matters. With this tractor pact, India is crafting a model for how emerging nations can gain ground in places where old powers are losing their grip. India's prize is clear, a strategic anchor in Africa's heart, opening doors to new markets, resources, and influence. For Burkina Faso, it is a shot at transformation, a way to leap ahead in both agriculture and politics on its own terms. For Burkina Faso, the stakes are about more than farming. This partnership marks a break from the past, a bold statement of independence. The nation is joining forces with neighbors like Mali and Niger, all distancing themselves from former colonial rulers. Together, they seek a future built on self-reliance, not old patterns of dependency. Yet the risks loom large. If this gamble pays off, both countries gain jobs, power, and prestige. If it fails, the result could be lost investments, damaged reputations, and deeper dependence. the very trap they hope to escape. Still, one question lingers. Can these tractors truly spark a new era? Or will Burkina Faso's hopes be another entry in Africa's long ledger of broken promises? 100,000 gleaming tractors could transform a nation, or stand as silent reminders of broken dreams. But behind the boardroom optimism and diplomatic handshakes, the deal itself is a web of complex finance and fragile trust. How did two unlikely partners pull off such a risky agreement? And who stands to gain most if it works? Picture Burkina Faso 5 years from now. If modernization succeeds, harvests might double or even triple, turning this landlocked country into a breadbasket for West Africa. Imagine abundant food, not just for its own citizens, but for hungry neighbors in Ghana, Ivory Coast, and markets stretching far beyond the Sahel. But here is the razor's edge. Tractors alone cannot spark a revolution. They require fuel, spare parts, skilled mechanics, and farmers trained to operate and maintain them. Without that web of support, these machines will be abandoned, forgotten in fields, their paint fading under the relentless sun. The stakes are enormous. Each tractor could boost a farm's yield by several $1,000s a year, repaying its cost in under 3 years. Multiply that impact across 100,000 machines, suddenly billions could flow into the economy, lifting families from poverty, creating jobs, and stabilizing food prices across the region. Africa has seen too many failed experiments. From Nigeria to Tanzania to Ethiopia, the countryside is dotted with rusting relics. Technology imported without the backbone of training and maintenance that turns steel into progress. Tractors here are more than machines. They are seeds of a new revolution taking root in Africa. What lessons can Burkina Faso draw from past missteps? And what warnings or hopes might ripple across Africa as the continent watches this high-stakes experiment? To understand how Burkina Faso reached this crossroads, we need to look back at the deal's origins and the hidden forces shaping its trajectory. The roots of this gamble stretch far beyond tractors and fields. For Burkina Faso, the risks are critical. Food security, employment, and even political stability now depend on flawless execution, not just the excitement surrounding a historic purchase. If this system collapses, the country could face deeper debt, lost trust, and renewed cycles of instability. For decades, tractors in Africa meant foreign aid or charity, often left to rust when the spotlight faded. Now, they're being reimagined as tools of financial freedom. Managed well, these machines become engines of self-reliance, fueling local food production, new jobs, and a sense of national pride. This deal is not just about Burkina Faso. If it works, it could inspire copycat projects across the continent, offering hope to dozens of nations grappling with similar problems. African governments, investors, and everyday citizens are all watching, anxious to see if this bold move will break the chains of dependency or reinforce old stereotypes. But the risk is immense. If Burkina Faso fails, if corruption or poor planning leaves tractors abandoned, the worst assumptions about African governance will be confirmed. That could frighten off future investors and slam the door on other countries dreaming of similar deals. Billions in investment and the continent's reputation are on the line. Yet the biggest shift is psychological. For generations, Africa's story has been written by outsiders, focused on debt and disappointment. Now, there is a chance to rewrite that story. Smart, strategic choices could prove that Africans can shape their own futures.
But how did Burkina Faso convince India to take such a gamble? The answer lies in a daring blend of political vision, negotiation, and creative financial engineering.
The true revolution is happening in the minds of farmers, leaders, and young people who see these tractors as proof that ambition, matched with action, can change everything. Burkina Faso has made its move. The world is watching,
and what happens next will decide the future.
But the consequences ripple far beyond Burkina Faso. The whole of Africa and the world beyond are watching closely. Can one country's leap of faith ignite a cycle of homegrown revolutions, inspiring others to claim control of their futures? Or will failure become a warning, a lesson that ambition, without careful planning and strong foundations, can backfire? In the final analysis, this is more than a tractor deal. It is a crucible for leadership, strategy, and the fight to shape destiny. Burkina Faso's choice is not just about machines. It is a high-stakes wager on sovereignty, a bold step to seize the keys to the nation's future, and a declaration that the era of waiting for handouts is over, even if self-investment means embracing enormous risk. The coming harvest will be more than a test of weather or crop yields. It will reveal whether innovative global finance can truly empower or simply trade one form of dependency for another. In an era where billions of dollars shift with a signature, what happens here could sway food security, migration flows, and even political balance across West Africa. So, did Burkina Faso's leaders make the right choice? Only time and the land will tell. But one truth stands out. In a world of rapid change, the courage to act is a victory against inertia. For every nation and every leader, the lesson is clear. Bold moves bring both hope and hazard, yet inaction leaves history unchanged.